Good afternoon, Cherries fans, and welcome to this impromptu video. Now, I decided I wanted to do this video because people do know who I am, and people do watch this channel and do listen to me and listen to my stuff. And I know that there's a lot of discontent at the moment within our fan base with regards to the current managerial situation. Of course, Leeds have dismissed Jesse Marsch this week, and of course Southampton, with regards to their manager, it's looking like that he's on thin ice as well, and there's rumours going around about that. Now, of course, I've been a big supporter of Gary O'Neill from the start, and I've got to admit that, I am disappointed the way it's gone. He doesn't deserve abuse. In no way does anybody deserve abuse. But personally, from the perspective of a fan and what's best for the club, I think, it's probably best for Gary as well if the situation comes to an end. Now, there's a lot of talk about protests and people, standing outside the ground and things like that. That, I think, is a ridiculous thing. Now, those players will be coming into Dean Court on Saturday, ready to hopefully play their hearts out against Newcastle, against a manager that we know all too well in the dugout opposite. And those players will be focused. You hope they would be focused. We've also got a lot of new players as well. So the last thing that they would want to see is our fans kicking off because they want the manager out. Now, I am all for people having their own say and expressing it, but, booing players throughout the game. Booing players throughout a game is unacceptable. We are there to try and get 3 points. Now, if we was to get 3 points, it could be the difference between us staying in the Premier League or going down. And throughout that game, I think our core responsibility as fans is to cheer that team on, whoever that team is that Gary O'Neill puts out. After the game, I can understand if you do want to vent frustrations, then, it's within your right to vent your frustrations. But keep in mind that Gary is a decent man. He's done a good job, and I think it would be unfair for fans to be abusive, and just be damn right nasty towards him when he's given his all. He's put in a position that maybe he didn't expect at the start of the season, and I think he's done a decent enough job. Before the World Cup, after the World Cup, of course, it was all fallen apart a little bit. But that is my 2 pennies worth. Get behind the team, get behind the players. Don't boo the players during the game. Regardless of what is happening on the pitch. Let's be honest, if they play like they did against Brighton, then I can't imagine that many fans have got that much to groan about. Yes, if a substitution happens, which is ridiculous, which, my personal opinion, that substitution against Brighton, to change it and go too defensively, was ridiculous. We should have just keep going for it. Now, if we kept going for it and got beat, then it'd be like, fair enough. We gave it our all. We didn't shut up shop. We played the Eddie Howe way. But, shutting up shop, it was ridiculous at that point. And like I say, I don't need to go over it again, but if Traore was that tired, moving Semenyo back into his place and putting Kiefer Moore up front, and then just throwing the balls forward to try and get Kiefer Moore on the end of one of them. I think personally it would have won, would have worked. We would have either come away with a win, or we would have come away with a point from Brighton, and that's no mean feat. But by the by, what I am trying to say here is don't boo, don't get on the back of the players throughout that 90 minutes. Just support the club. Social media has become toxic recently. It's so sad, and I think there is people fueling that toxicity. One thing I will say is this channel and Up the Cherries and all departments will not do that. I will give my brutal, honest opinion, like I did the other day in that video that so many people are mentioning about, but I will not start any toxicity. The O'Neill outside is what it is. Again, it's people have got a right to say what they want, but I think what we need to do is pull together. So hopefully, this is a message that can go around the fan base and garner, attraction. And let's see what happens. We might be surprised. We might get a result, and those 3 points would be vital to keep us in this division. If we don't, there's no guarantee that a new manager would be able to save us. There was no guarantee that a new manager would be able to save us before Scott Parker, was even fired. There's no guarantee that the new manager would have done as well as Gary O'Neill has done. We're talking about ifs here. We're at this point now where I think, yes, we need to make a change. Who I would like. He's recently signed a new contract, so he's not going to come cheap. But at the same time, we need to just get behind the team. And we're in this situation, like or lump it, just get behind the team and back the boys. And hopefully, fingers crossed, 3 points will be ours on Saturday. But yeah, thank you for checking us out, and like I say, hit subscribe, hit the bell on both the main channel and this channel, and we'll give you more reactions, more off the cuff videos on here anyway, as and when they happen. Do check out our Mark McAdam chat as well, because at the end of that chat on the main channel, so UTCIAD, the Mark McAdam transfer one, he was very, very honest, and I think I can only echo everything he said at the end, and it's the abuse, the moan. It's not what AFC Bournemouth stand for. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can all work together, pull together in the right direction to get ourselves out of this. It's the only way it's going to happen. We're not stop thinking about favours. Who do you want to win out of a game between Southampton and Wolves? We don't care. We don't care about them. What we need to do it ourselves. It doesn't matter what Wolves or Southampton do. We have to do it ourselves and get ourselves out of this. So yeah, that is my 6 pennies worth, and hopefully, fingers crossed, no protest please on Saturday.